the Tipsy Tea, where we tell it like it is. Today we have Synethia and we have Natasha. Today's topic will be, why do women cheat? At the end of the description, at the bottom, you will see Synethia's Instagram page and Natasha's. So I'm going to start with Synethia.
Okay.
Why do you think women cheat?
I wouldn't call it, I don't really feel like women cheat. You know, it depends on the situation. There's no reason to cheat. Let me make this clear. There, on both ends, there's no reason to cheat, but sometimes when you have been in long-term relationships that started off, and it depends on the person who you're dealing with, the individual who you're dealing with. If you have a clear understanding, and sometimes if women, when you meet a man and you know your position, depending on the situation, on how the relationship was brought to you, because you do have a lot of women out there who would know that a man has a wife, a man has a fiance, a man has a woman that he's pretty much have been settled with. And I'm going to use the word settled. When I say settled, let me make it clear. Meaning that he's been with her over an ample amount of time. When I say like 2 or 3 years, but they never proposed an engagement or marriage. But we still sometimes tends to feel like if that man is giving us that attention, and if that's in you, sometimes it depends on who you are dealing with, like I said, to bring that person out of you. So we kind of cheat because if we do feel like we have been settled with you and you haven't given us anything like what we're looking for. When I say, we're not saying that we're out here looking for money, for financial, like a financial stability, or just a man to just be in our face like all the time, or just somebody we can sleep with all the time. Absolutely not. We also feel like if you're giving me 100, I don't find a need to cheat. But if I become bored with you, and I'm speaking for myself, I can't speak for other women because I've learned how to be honest with myself. If I don't feel like I'm getting what I want, I don't use the word cheat. I feel like now I'm dating. And when I say dating, because if I meet somebody else and I didn't get what I was getting out of this guy, of course I'm going to move on and find some type of stability in this other person. Because if you have been dealing with me on a dating level, and if I've shown you what I'm looking for, I've told you, and apparently we've discussed that, and you're not giving me that, of course I'm going to move on. So I would never say I'm cheating. I'm weighing out my options, you know, because men do the same thing. They would have us 100%, and we feel like that we're doing, even without a marriage. You don't even have to be married. You guys have us, and we're doing marital people things. But why aren't we married? So at the end of the day, why are you holding on to me? Don't keep me to yourself and block me from somebody who really is willing to give me that 100%. So I really don't feel like I'm cheating. If I'm not locked in with you like that, and there's no title, and we're just doing what grown people do, I wouldn't use the word cheating. I just feel like women venture off. I'm going to use the word women venture off due to the lack of comfort, security, and understanding that that individual, depending on who you're dealing with, don't give you what you need. So you venture off. And sometimes you may have to venture off in order to get a person who you have been dealing with attention, to make them say, hey, why did she leave me? Like, why is it that she walked away from me? You know, so if it's meant for you and that person to be together, then okay, I might have to venture off to 2 or 3 different guys at that point, but you can't fault me because you had my undivided attention. And when you had it, you snooze. So I wouldn't use the word cheat. It's just, we venture. We venture off. Okay, you agree?
Have any one of y'all ever been caught slipping or cheating?
No, if anything, somebody told something.
Yeah. Okay, so you have those friends.
Unless they have, so-called friends, I should
say. Right.
Do you have a story? Anything like that happened to you?
Yeah, you wouldn't put me on the spot, but it's all good. I mean, you know, I believe in keeping it real.
Yeah.
I had a situation with one of my last kids' father where
And that's a long time ago. Let her rephrase that, because
very
her
long
children
time
are
ago.
adult. These are adult children.
Listen, I may not look it, but I'm about to be 50 in July.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
These are
Okay?
adult children
I
we're
have
talking
adult
about.
children. I'm
Now
talking
she's
about
35.
23, 26, and 33. So,
Wow.
and I have 3 grandchildren. Let that be
Wow.
known.
Right.
So, we're talking decades ago. I had a situation where one of my children's father had went in jail. But at that time, I had, I was pregnant. I had just had the baby and everything. I hadn't been working because I had a complicated pregnancy. So things was a little crazy. And while he was locked up, I had to make things happen. That's what I'd say. I had a baby to feed. I had also 2 other children. So with that being said, you have friends that, are there, or they know your situation. So all of y'all y'all hustle. But then as soon as you fall out, they choose to go to the other route. They can't stay solid. So that was the situation with me, where when he got out, she was upset because we had went through something. We fell out, and she chose to tell him while he was locked up. But that sense. But at the end of the day, like, I see it as, in my situation, he was locked up. So me having to step out of my boundaries here and there because I had to start dating a little bit, or whatever the case may be, and dude decided to pay some bills and do some things. That's what it was. Other than that, as far as from my experience, there are multiple times I would say I may have cheated out of spite because I was cheated on, and who I was cheated on, or maybe how I was cheated on. Other than that, I may be like, okay, so I'll be honest, at my younger stage, I was kind of spiteful. So I would cheat back. You cheat on me? Oh, okay. Let me show you how you do it. That was me.
Spiteful. See what it is.
Now that I'm older, just before I got where I'm at now, I would say before this, I would say it would be more, it was kind of like a void or something there. You're not stepping up as a man, wearing the panties and the boxers, whatever, and you end up kind of going in another direction. Venturing, as she said. Now, though, I don't really believe in cheating because, well, I was an adult then, but now I wasn't as mature as I am now. If anything, I'll let you go. Seriously, I just let you go. Now, we have the understanding that, which is, everybody looks at relationships differently. We're very open as far as our spiritual side. So it's like, we together, but I don't own you, you don't own me. We both belong to God. So in that sense, I've become to the point of, like, if he is cheating, as long as I don't know, and he's doing everything that he's supposed to do, and being respectful, what I don't know won't hurt me. I'm not saying I'm in acceptance. Don't get it twisted. I'm not in acceptance. Okay? But a man is a man. A man is supposed to be fruitful. But when you're in a relationship, you have to be on the same level and have the same boundaries. If one does not agree with that, and they're not okay with you, doing something, you shouldn't be with that person. You got to be with somebody that's on the same level as you.
Absolutely.
That's what makes the relationship work. Because if you are this way and he's that way, it's not going to work. Because y'all views and beliefs are not the same.
So you
exactly.
It causes you to venture.
So he's going to be doing this, but you're going to be in offense or defense about it.
You're gonna always
or vice versa. Yeah. Exactly. And then you're going to be seeking, looking, peeping. Oh, I've been there too, ladies. So I understand. It just all depends. You got to find somebody that's compatible with you or on the same view. Because if not, you definitely, because he may see it as he's not cheating. Because society has it as when a man is
not whatever. That's what she's saying. He's not going to look at it as he's cheating because, like I said, you have some women that will know the terms of what they're getting into and they're starting with that man, but then they feel like, even though from the beginning that man literally said, we're not in a relationship, okay, and then but you allow me to get close to you. You allow me to get on that level where I feel like we're somewhere beyond this what it was from the beginning. So, like you said,
You got to be on the same page.
Women would get caught up in their, how can we say it? Women can cheat until the day they leave this earth. And I'm just going to say it. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it.
I also think women cheat because a lot of them have a void they're trying to fill.
They're trying to fill, right. It's not that we don't love you, because we can love.
A lot of times that's when you're not in tune with yourself.
Yeah. Exactly. So
get in tune with yourself, ladies.
Exactly. So like you said, and if you know the stipulations, or if a person show you their hand from the beginning, and then we will get caught up in our feelings, and we expect more from that man, because we'll feel like if you know you really genuinely didn't want to settle down with me or see yourself going that route with me, why did you allow us to get to this point? Because men, it's one thing for a man to cheat. It's one thing for a woman to cheat. See, we can cheat, but we know how to hold. Women, a lot of women don't know. Like you said, you have to get, we as women, we have to learn to be in tune with ourselves. And I'm going to say this because we were put on this earth. We birth children. We create life. So you learn to be attached. That's why I look at some women and say, hey, I don't understand. How can you not love your child? We are built to hold emotions. So we would tend to take in more as a man. So if we see a weak man, it bothers us. And we'll say, I don't want to be with him because he let me run. Oh, you get some women that just be like, oh, I can go cheat on him because he's soft. He ain't going to do nothing but sit up there and cry. But see, that's a man who you know his mom holds him close to her. But them the type of men we don't want. But we'll go get with a man who knows that it's instilled in us to love. It's instilled in women to nurture. And a lot of women they don't really take that in. This is something that's that spiritual, right? It's spiritual, and it's already in you. But it takes a person to bring it out of you. Just like when you have your baby and you look at that baby for the first time and you cry. Because this is a person who gives me this feeling. So we meet men. And if you start making me feel a certain type of way, of course I'm going to feel like, well, you treat me like I'm your girlfriend, but now you got a whole, what are you going to do with your wife at home? What are you going to do with your significant, even if she's not your wife? This is somebody who you've shared years of your life with. So why do you come over here to me and start this? You might as well call it, whether you say we together or not, a relationship, because you have become in tune with my lifestyle. You're coming to my home. Now you're in my home. You are outside of your comfort zone. But they will always try to fault the woman. The other woman will always, when she do find out, but what about that person who you love?
Yes.
And we will love a man. Women don't cheat. We feel like we fall. If we find that one man that gives us that feeling that we've been looking for, we could been dating, and especially if we already consider our single, like myself. So you speak from self-experience. I wouldn't label it as a term as that I'm cheating, because I feel like if nobody has made me whole and show me that, listen, I understand no relationship is perfect, no marriage is perfect. No, it's nobody's going to tell me they got a perfect marriage. I'm just going to say that, and it's a fact, because you go through things. It doesn't necessarily have to be cheating. It could be monetary things that one feel like the husband or the wife may lose their job. So that causes venture-offs, because the man may feel like, my wife's at home and everything's falling down. I'm about to lose my home. I'm about to lose this. And he feel like his wife not doing what he's supposed to do. So you catch a woman at work, and women, she may be already going through something, but now she got this man undivided attention because she's listening to him. And he probably tell himself, that's all I wanted, was somebody to listen to me. And it starts from there. It's always that listening ear with the two opposite sex, right? And it's the same thing with a woman. Where she feels like she's stepping out in public, and especially if she's a nice looking woman, and a man if she's dealing with a man who never tells her she's beautiful, or dealing with her, baby, I like who sits there and watch her, and he acknowledges her compliments. He tells her. He don't leave no space for another man to tell her that, because even if another man tell her that and that man has filled her with that would be insufficient to her, because we'll feel like, oh, my husband just told me I was beautiful, so I can care less that this man at work telling me I'm beautiful. I will walk in there every day with a smile on my face, and nothing nobody says to me, married, because I know the person at home who I love. But when we don't have that, and we have a man laying in bed, when you beat me down emotionally, you beat me down physically, verbally, and I get up every day, just some things you may say to me and make me upset, or you feel like because you're trying to hurt my feelings, how do you think that make me feel? So if I, like you said, if I go out and see somebody and they tell me that, some women who are they don't have to have low self-esteem, but if they have just something, that void in them and that feeling in them that hurts them every time they think about the voice of the man who I'm laying down in the bed with. He can't even tell me this, but I go to work every day and a person who I can care less than anything about can tell me I'm beautiful every day. So it starts from there. So it's not right. Cheating is not right. Venturing off is not right, especially when they say you have somebody. But I feel like if you're not married and you're not treating me how I'm supposed to be treated, and I know my worth, now that I know my worth, because like I said, I'm not perfect, and I've had my share of incidents of things I've done, and I'm not proud of them. You understand what I'm saying? But they have made me a better person. They have helped me experience a different chapter in my life that I can write this and sit down and I can talk about it. And I'm not ashamed, because I used to be ashamed of it. It molded me. It butterflied me. It made me look at how I know that I'm supposed to be cheated. But I don't hate the man, because I feel like I allowed that. I allowed that, because when I take myself back to a place where I know, you already knew you started feeling a certain way about this man, and then you went off and you met this guy. This guy made you feel how you want to feel. So at the end of the day, technically, I got to hold myself accountable for that. I'm not going to fault the men, because I made myself available to that situation.
No, but you, at this point, that's how you see it. But back then,
no, that's what I'm saying. When I was younger, now, but how I see it now is, I feel like we as women, we have to set boundaries. We have to set standards for ourselves, because it's one thing for us, like we're sitting here. We can talk about this all day, but are we genuinely doing that? Are we genuinely, when I get up off this couch, she gets up, you get up and you walk away, are we really living our life to that expectation to say, if I do meet a man, and if that man, because I'm so used to what all these other men have shown me and dealt with me, are you really going to be able to accept that man to where you don't venture off or till you don't cheat? Okay. Are you going to open the door and let that man love you unconditionally? Like, are we going to go there?
Yeah. Okay. So for me, my first relationship was extremely abusive. She knows. Mm-hmm. So was the second and the third. But then it came also with a lot of cheating and lies and using. So I went through a phase of, okay, you did it to me. Now I'm on the rampage. Savage. I'm going to do it to them.
But that's younger. That's when you were younger.
At a very young, I'm talking about decades ago, y'all. I went through that phase. But then there comes a time as just a woman, being a woman, how God created you to be. You come to your senses and you're like, this isn't how I want to be. This is how, I want to live.
Life teach you.
And I did my own praying and manifesting that I want to change. So it's easy for me now in the last couple of decades to not cheat, not venture off when you're not doing this, you're not doing that. I'd rather let you go and keep on going, because I've been on my own since 16. So I don't need a man. I want a man. It's a want. Mm-hmm. And it's a natural thing. And I also speak on submissive. I'm never gonna obey. When I get married, I'm taking it out my wedding vows. I did in my first marriage, to be honest.
Because we haven't let that man to make us be submissive.
I learned over a period of time also that submission comes naturally in a woman, because it's in our nature.
If you reciprocate.
So if the man is being a man and he's speaking to you and moving correctly, the submission is gonna flow naturally. But when he's barking and he's forcing, it won't. And that also, when they're like that, also leads you to cheat, because there's the other man on the other side that's speaking to you correctly while your main man is barking at you. And that's another reason women cheat as well. Mm-hmm. When you're not getting the attention, it could be whether it's verbal, emotionally, sexually, or whatever, women tend to stray. The difference with us is, and I will say us because I'm a woman, but I'm gonna separate myself though from this part.
You're genuinely speaking.
Right.
This is not applying to your life now, because you're settled.
Mostly they get attached. So for a man, it really hits them hard, because women are the type that when we go out and venture out, we're venturing out in a certain way. So
seeking attention.
It's going to be some kind of attention, some kind of attachment. You're going to start talking. You're going to be talking for a while and everything that goes that way. So that's why the man, like, you cheated on me. When on the other hand, the man just met her, he screwed her, and he kicked her. That's
and
that. And it's nothing. So that's why I always say, we know when a woman go out and she cheat, it's more than this and this and this and that. Her feelings is involved. She really liked him.
Definitely.
That's why they say
I agree with that.
Mature. But on the other hand, we have a few, like myself and my sister and a few others, can do the same thing as a man. We can cheat and there's no feeling involved.
No feelings.
After that, I won't even see you, talk to you, nothing. It is what it is. No feelings, no nothing.
Because we understood.
Yeah, we understood the assignment. And home is home. At the end of the day, like I was trying to say, is it all depends on you and your partner, on what kind of relationship and understanding that you have. Because if you both have the understanding that it's in our nature to want to, you know, have sex and whatever, it's cheating when you're in a relationship and you're outside of your relationship with anything where you're pillow talking, where it's emotionally, any kind of emotion attached to it. You're dating and actually doing things that you're doing with your significant other is cheating. If you just had sex with this person, male or female, and you can, that's that. It's just sex. And
so what do you guys make of, I had a client, she told me that she had sex with her enemy's boyfriend. I mean, with her enemy's man.
Okay.
As a form of revenge.
That's spiteful. That's what you call spiteful sex. And what she fails to understand. Like that type of stuff. Let me say this. When you know you are an attractive person and men are attracted to you, it only makes you more, I'm going to use the word, and I hate to say it, but it makes you look stupid because you're trying to prove a point. I'll say this wholeheartedly. I would never allow a chick who I know that's beefing with me to say, oh, I'm going to piss her off because I'm going to go sleep with her man. That's just me. That's just showing that her man, technically, not her man, because he was vulnerable enough to sleep with me. Because I feel like once you get sexually aroused by me and you've never had that interaction with me, that means you wanted to do it. Because the average man, he's not going to put himself in those situations where that he can, if he knows, even if he's battling that demon, to say, I'll never cheat on my wife, but damn, Shari's fine. I've been wanting to sleep with her. There was nothing I can do to turn him on because he's going to walk away from that. He's going to go home and tell his wife.
Because his heart is where it's
at. That's where his heart at. He's not sexually driven. But if for me as a woman to say, oh, I'm going to go sleep with Tasha man because I know he want me and I know she don't like me. What does that say about me as a person? You have to be the most, I call that slime ball type behavior. Women, we can be slime balls too. You understand what I'm saying? I've had plenty of situations where
there's a lot of cheat.
Yeah,
a lot of spiteful cheating.
That's spiteful cheating.
Or they don't really want your man, but because
they proving the point. They trying to prove a point.
See your lifestyle.
They want that.
Will cheat, you know.
And they'll sleep with him thinking, let me go sleep with her husband or let me go sleep with her boyfriend because I want that same. He'll never treat you because you're not her. Even if he is cheating on her, you're not her. That's what you fail to understand. Because you done built and conjured up all this stuff in your head that, oh, I'm fine. Oh, I look good. And, oh, I slept with him. But that's all you did. So now you bodied yourself. He's still with the woman who he's complaining to you about. What was the purpose of that?
That's another thing.
That's called purposely cheating.
I feel like I said, that's cheating.
Yeah,
because
that's
if you're
definitely
going
cheating.
outside of your comfort zone, your confidant zone with your significant other, and you're going to take in your business. You're getting to know this person, their date of birth, their this and that. That's cheating.
Pillow talking.
That's cheating when you're in a relationship. Okay, in my eyes, my opinion. Because you could just have sex. Like, it's in our nature. And to be honest, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be honest. I have a son that's in his 30s. And he like hoes. He feel like they honest, no attachment, no nothing. And he says that. He'll tell you, I like hoes. Because I don't have to worry about this, don't have to worry about that. I don't need them calling my baby mama. I don't need them calling my old lady, this and this and this. And they're going to just blah, 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 blah. And that's it. They're going about their business. That's that. I've been in a relationship where he liked big booty women. He loved watching flicks. He loved to get his D sucked, all this stuff. So it's like, for them, it come as a natural thing because society made it as it's okay. But when a woman does it, it's cheating. But like I said, that's when you have to know your partner. When you're in a relationship, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? If you feel like this and this and this is cheating, you gotta be, that person has to feel the same way. Otherwise, if they don't view it the same, then it's always gonna come off on each end that you're cheating or this one's cheating. So it's a touchy topic, to be honest. But most times, I will say from experience and listening to sisters, friends, and my own experience, that women cheat most times when they're not in tune with themselves. Yeah. That self-love isn't how it's supposed to be, and how they view themselves or view their man. And also, if there's a void. Missing something, lacking something somewhere, whether it's attention, whether he's not screwing her right, it could be anything. And those are my two, in my opinion, why women cheat.
All right, y'all, that is all we have for the Tipsy Tea. So tune in next week where the next topic will be, why do men cheat? So make sure you tune in. And thanks to Synethia and Natasha.
And we'll be back.
Woo!